Mayor Pete absolutely shattered the record for filibustering during a debate. So watch him here absolutely refuse to let Bernie get a word in.
This is about 2020. We are not going to survive or succeed, and we're certainly not going to win by reliving the Cold War. And we're not going to win these critical House and Senate races if people in those races have to explain why the nominee of the Democratic Party is telling people to look at the bright side of the Castro regime. We've got to be a lot smarter about this and look to the future.
Senator Sanders, your response.
Let us be clear. Do we think health care for all, Pete, is some kind of radical communist idea? Do we think raising the minimum wage to a living wage? Do we think building the millions of units of affordable housing that we need? Do we think raising taxes on billionaires is a radical idea?
Let's talk about what's radical about that plan.
Reform
Senator,
is a radical idea.
The things you just named.
Do we think immigration reform? The truth is, Pete, that the American people support my agenda. That is why I am beating Trump in virtually every poll that has done, and why I will defeat him.
We got to open this up. Universal health care for
Senator Klobuchar.
Right, you pointed to that.
Bernie.
I hate that so much. Oh, I hate that so much. Oh, that gets under my skin. So here's my guess as to what the backstory is to this here. Pete in the upcoming states is doing horribly. He invested, a lot of resources into Iowa. And it paid off to some extent. There's no doubt about that. But he was kind of hoping for a springboard effect. Like, oh, okay, so if I win Iowa, then it's like, bam, I could win New Hampshire because that happens, pretty soon after, and I'll get the positive press from Iowa. And then if I win New Hampshire, then boom, I'll win Nevada because it's just, let me roll on, the positive press. And he hit a wall. He hit a wall because, I would argue he's also just not that great of a candidate, so he hit a wall for that reason. But also, he really doesn't have a lot of support among people of color, and the states that are upcoming have a lot more people of color. And like Nevada, for example, has a decent number of people of color, and Pete did terribly there. So he's going to hit a wall coming up in South Carolina, and then on Super Tuesday, he's not polling well in these states. And so he needs to make something happen, because he ain't going to go anywhere. He needs to make something happen. So my guess is this is when his staffers behind the scene tell him going into this debate, bro, listen, you have to make a statement. You have to make a name for yourself. You have to plant a flag. You have to, because you're gonna lose, and you're gonna lose quickly if you don't make something happen. So he goes out there and he does exactly what you just saw right there. And he's asserting himself. He's being aggressive. But really, fundamentally, what happened is he's filibustering. And that's the longest filibuster I've ever seen in my entire life on a debate stage. And that's kind of embarrassing and kind of shameful. Because Bernie clearly asked a rhetorical question and was continuing on in a line of things he was going to say. And Pete was just like, no, actually, wait, let's talk about that. And let me just keep talking here, as you're obviously not done making your point. And I should stop and let you finish making your point. But I'm going to keep being really annoying and keep jumping in and keep trying to stop people from hearing your point. And anyway, do people like me? Do you guys like me? No, man, you look really terrible. Hate to break it to you. So I don't think that worked. I think he bombed the night. I think aside from Tom Steyer, he was the worst on stage. In fact, Bloomberg did better than Tom Sawyer, and Mayor Pete. But whatever the strategy was, whatever you were trying to do, I can pretty much guarantee you it didn't work, and you look like a giant prick.